Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live workshop. Today, we'll be talking about how to do keyword research for SEO. Now, this topic is very, very important because it will help you bring traffic to your website, help your website gain authority. It will also help your website have consistent traffic over time, because the keywords that you would have chosen will help you will help people find those blog posts and come to your website. Now, before we get started, if you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the comments box before we begin. Okay, fantastic. It looks like everyone can hear me and see me. Right, I think I spoke too soon. All right, let's begin. So first of all, before we get started, I want to talk about the Mac membership relaunch. Now, I've been having problems. I think I've mentioned this before, that there were people that were being billed double on their memberships. So I decided to actually cancel and stop the memberships. So I sent an email out to everyone to say, please cancel your memberships until I sort this problem out. And then once I solve this problem, I will then resend emails out and ask you to rejoin the membership. Now, the reason why I've done it this way is because I was really feeling bad that I'm receiving money from you guys and you're not able to see the courses. So that is the reason why I decided to get rid of the membership. And this is just temporary, by the way. So what I will do is once I'm ready, I will then relaunch this membership. And for those of you that had discount codes, I will also send you an email with the discount codes so that you can re-access the membership. Now, when it comes to the training, now my internet is on and off. Sometimes it works okay, sometimes it doesn't work okay. So you have to be very, very patient with me, please. For now, I think we'll stick to Saturdays. That way I'm able to work on this website, get it up and running well so that everyone has access once they've signed up for the membership. And so we'll have this on Saturdays. And then that will also give me time to prepare for these workshops. So before we get started, I'd like to say welcome to everyone, and also thank you very much for understanding, this problem that I'm going through. I know some of you have been really frustrated. I've also reached out via email to let everyone know what is going on. So thank you very much for your patience. All right, so before we get started, there's quite a lot of you who are watching here. Rito, good to see you. Brenda, awesome, good to see you. John Jackson, Alhaji. We also have John Lu, John Hongju Lee. I always mess it up all the time. Sorry about that. Okay. Right. This is also on YouTube, and this is a one-off because, as I mentioned before, I will be doing these workshops strictly for the members. However, I will still be producing content for YouTube, but this is because some of you are not getting my emails regarding the membership. So I thought I'd talk about the membership first before we dive into the workshop. All right, so let's talk about keyword research. First of all, if you do keyword research for your blog, please let me know in the comments box by saying yes. If you don't do keyword research, please just say no in the comments box. I'm curious to see how many of you are actually doing keyword research, because in my opinion, this is very, very important. And this is a make or break for any small business website or any blogger or any entrepreneur out there. Brenda says, I would if I knew. Jack Johnson says yes. Max says no. Okay. Monique says, I don't have a blog on my website. Right. I think we need to start with talking about why a blog is very, very important before we go into this. Shanu says, I use Google Keyword Planner. Awesome. Okay. I can also see some yeses here. Fantastic. All right. So first of all, the reason why keyword research is very important is because you want people to be able to find your articles or your videos when you add them onto your website. Now, the reason why this is very important is because there's two ways of getting traffic onto your website. Number one, it's paid. So you pay for your traffic, and Google, Facebook, Pinterest, and all these social media networks just give you a flood of traffic onto your website. The other option is organic SEO. Okay, so organic SEO is, I'm sure all of you here have searched something on YouTube. Like, for example, if you search for how to use Divi, there are articles that show up. Now, these articles here, in fact, let's do a demo so I can show you why keyword is very important. I mean, keyword research is very important, and why we also need to be working on creating a blog on our website. Right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to switch over to my desktop. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So over here, I'm looking at just a normal search. So I want to search how to. Okay, let's use how to bake a cake. Okay. Without eggs. So this is how people search online. They go on there, they search for a specific long tail keyword because they're looking for something specific. So when these results show, ideally, we would want our website to be showing here on these results. So we can see here, eggless vanilla cake recipe, and quite a few here as well. But I know, of course, this is quite a high traffic keyword. Is also very difficult to rank for, and I'll be showing you how to find keywords that you can rank for easily. Okay, so the idea here is, and just to go to Monique's statement about not having a blog, these results here go specifically to a blog. Okay, so if I click here on eggless vanilla cake recipe, and I click on that, now this is taking us to a blog. Now I'll just click on accept on that. Okay, so you can see here that this is a blog. So ideally, you want to create as many blog posts as possible so that whatever niche you're in, when people search for these keywords, your website will be coming up with your different types of topics that you've chosen to write or create videos on. This is also what I do on my YouTube channel. I specifically have a list of topics that I want to talk about. And then once I start doing those topics, when people search for them, you'll find that this is how I get traffic to my videos and also traffic to my website. Now, why is this important? First of all, getting traffic to your website or getting traffic to your blog is very, very important, because this can, you can use this to either promote your products, your services, or even promote any courses if you have any courses, or recommend products. And this is also known as affiliate marketing. So it's very, very important that we do it this way. And this is why you want to have a blog. Now, adding a blog onto your website is quite straightforward. In fact, I could do a quick demo here and show you how to add a blog to your website. Right. So let me just grab my website here. So this is a normal Divi website. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to assign a page as a blog. So I'm just going to click here on add new. Right. So we're just going to call this blog. Then we're going to publish it. Okay. So I've just created a page which is called blog. So what you need to do now is to come over here to your settings and then click on reading. So here we have our home page as our normal website page. And then for our post page, this is where we want to add blog. Save changes. Okay. Right. So I'm just going to come over here and add it to my menu as well. So I'm going to come to menus, and then I'm going to add my blog to the menu. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to save this. So now we have a main page and also a blog on our website. So if I come over here and click on visit site, you can see here that now I have a blog. So right now we just have the default blog. So ideally what you do now is to do the keyword research, find the keywords, and then you want to come over here and create your blog posts. So far, are you with me? Let me know if you understand what I am talking about right now before I proceed, because I really, really want you to get the idea of why keyword research for SEO is very important and how it can benefit your website or even your business. Okay. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so I've got some good responses here. I'm just going to take a quick look here and see. Right. Okay, so I will go into a detail if this topic is something that you want me to perhaps maybe create a mini course on. I can also do that and create a mini course so that you'll have an idea of how to do keyword SEO for your website. All right, so moving on. So we've created a blog page on our website. So this is where all our blog posts are going to come. Okay. So now let me show you how to do the keyword research. So let's say, in fact, you have to start by choosing your niche. So what is your niche? Are you a freelance designer? Are you, do you enjoy baking? Do you enjoy creating videos? Dog training, it just depends, art and crafts. So whatever niche you're in, this is where you want to do your keyword research in. It's very, very important you do that, because you don't want to do random keywords for your website, because your website has to be specific to a niche. So let's say you do baking and you enjoy baking. So all your keyword research has to be based on baking. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to do your keyword research and find keywords that don't have a lot of competition. Now, there's other tools out there. There's free ones like the Google Keyword Planner. Now, I personally use Keyword Finder because it's a bit expensive because it's a monthly recurring payment. But the reason why I use this, in fact, you'll see in a little bit, it shows me any indications of how difficult it is for me to search for that keyword. And it also gives me a lot of suggestions. So let's say our topic here is baking cakes, okay? And I'm just choosing any random one. If you have any suggestions, you can just add your suggestions in the comments box so that we can use that as an example here. So in fact, let's do that. I know I'm putting myself on the spot here, but can someone just give me a niche that we can do some keyword research on, and then I can show you the process of how to do it. Okay, Max here says dancing. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll go with the first one. So let's go with dancing, right? So let's say dancing is our main niche. And we want to be able to write articles or do videos about dancing. So we want to stick to blogging here. So it's all about articles. So over here, I'm going to come for suggestions and click and search for dancing. Okay. Then I am going to click on find keywords. So this tool now is going to search, and this tool is based on the Google Keyword Planner. So these keywords, they're not just random. They're coming from the Google Keyword Planner. So what you want to do now is already we can see some suggestions. We have ballroom dance shoes. So now, since this dance is your niche and this was submitted by Max, you can then write articles about ballroom dance shoes. Okay, the best ballroom dance shoes, right? So that's an article that you can write. Now, once you start ranking for that article, when people search on YouTube for the best ballroom dance shoes, ideally your website, your blog post needs to be in the top 10. Okay. Now, how do we know that it's that people are searching for that keyword? Well, If you take a look here, it also tells us our search volume. Okay. So this is an indication that people are actually searching for this keyword. Now, over here on the right, this is my very, very important column, because this tells me the keyword difficulty. Okay. Now, the keyword difficulty is very, very important here, because as you can see, it tells us straight away, if you try to rank for the keyword dancing, you're definitely not going to make it, because it tells you here the keyword difficulty is hard. It tells you it's hard. So if you're starting off, your keyword difficulty level should be around below 20, okay, for you to be able to rank for those keywords. So you need to start slow and then build your website up until you are able to rank very high for these. So straight away, it tells us here the 10 results, the top 10 results. You can see there's Wikipedia, and there's chances of you ranking higher than Wikipedia are close to 0. So obviously, you don't want to be using dancing as your main keyword. So what I do with this keyword tool is there's this little arrow here which says search related keywords. Okay. If I click on that, it now gives me even more options here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to just go through this list. But before I do that, I just want to come here on this keyword difficulty. If you click here on this column, it twice, it rearranges this and then shows you according to the keyword difficulty from the lowest to the highest. So as I'm scrolling down here, scrolling down, I can see here that some of these have high search volumes. So for example, here, I would need to click on this because we need to see a number here. So I'll click on that and let's see how difficult it is. And it says that 46 out of 100. So that's still high. So I'm going to keep going down here until I start seeing some numbers. So there we go. So we have this one here called dance art. Okay. Right. So I don't know anything about dancing, to be honest, but Max, maybe you may know about what dance art is. So this is where now you can choose this actual keyword, dance art. Okay, if you know what that is. Now, here's the interesting part. The search volume here is very high. Okay, we have 4,400 people searching for dance art. And here's the most interesting thing. The keyword difficulty is only 11. So this is the keyword that you want to really zone in on and start creating articles around it. So you can say, what is dance art? For example, write an article about that. That article is almost guaranteed to rank because the keyword difficulty here is very, very low. We are on 11. I mean, in fact, that's one of the lowest. I mean, you can go. So that's how you get started. So you take this keyword here, dance art, write an article about it. If you're comfortable doing videos, do a video about it, and then add it onto your blog. So now when you come to your blog here, I'm switching back over here to my website. I'll go to posts, add new. So we did say our blog dance art. Okay. So that's what we need here. So we're going to put in dance art. So that becomes our keyword. Okay. Now, I use a tool here called Yoast SEO. Now, this will be a topic for the next session on how to use Yoast SEO, because this helps you, add all your right keywords on your actual article to help it rank. It also gives you some signs and some indications, like giving you a green if everything is good, with all those indications to make sure that it's highly optimized. Okay, right. So we have dance art here. So you can go ahead now and start creating your article. Okay, so I'm not going to go into detail here and add a lot of information, but I'm just going to show you quickly and just save it so that it shows on our blog page. Okay, so now that I've added that, if I come over here to blog, okay, it's not saved. But this is where all your blog posts will be shown. So hopefully now when people search on Google, they will be directed to a blog post, which will then be shown on your website. So they'll go directly onto that blog post, like, for example, in this way. Okay. So that's how it works. Now let's go back to our keyword finder here and see what else we can do. Right. So scrolling here, there's dance studios. Okay. Again, this is quite low. It has 19. In fact, some of these you may need to click this again just to see. Oh, in fact, let's come over here. Here's a good one. Dance lessons for beginners. Okay. So if we click on that, you can see on the keyword difficulty here, it says 21 out of 100. Still easy. You can see the traffic here is quite high, which is brilliant. So this is a topic that you want to create an article on. So dance lessons for beginners. This is something that you want to do. Now, here's the thing. On the search here, we only have 320. It may sound discouraging, but you have to start from somewhere. So sometimes you have to go for keywords that are really, really low. Sometimes maybe even 200 a month. It's fine. But let's say you have 10 of those keywords and people are coming to those articles every month, and it's 10 of them giving you 200 every month. That's a considerable amount of traffic coming to your website, and this is organic traffic. And these topics that we're talking about here are called evergreen. Now, what that means is dance lessons for beginners is always going to be there. Today, tomorrow, 5 years time, 10 years time. Okay. Unlike news type websites. In news type websites, the news is there, and after a few hours, it's gone. It's not relevant anymore. People forget about it and keep on moving. So what we're doing here is organic SEO, but it's also evergreen. So even topics like how to design a website, people always want to know how to design a website. So you can put all your effort into that. It's not going to be lost because people always keep coming back to that particular topic. And now let's move on here and let's see if there's any more that we can choose. So as you can see here, it's quite competitive. The art of dance is also quite good here. We can see it has 3,600, and our keyword difficulty here is 20. I'll just click on that. In fact, it's 13. So this is definitely, if I was into dance as Max is, I will definitely go into the art of dance, talk about it. It can be an audio recording where you do like a podcast and then you have the transcription below, or do a long article about it, go into detail and talk about the art of dance, because clearly here we can see the search volume is high, 3,600, and the keyword difficulty here, as you can see here, it says easy. So this is how you do keyword research for SEO. It's very, very important. And this is why I use this tool, because this tool makes this whole process much, much easier. I know we can use free ones like the Google Keyword Planner. Yes, fine, it's free. You can use it if you have a Google account. But it's just the graphs and the ease of use of this. But of course, if you're comfortable doing that and you want to go the free option, you can do it that way. But this just works really, really fast for me. I can just go in here, and it also has some more tools that you can actually use, which helps you create lists, which you can then export onto your Excel document. Now, before I show you the next tools that Keyword Finder has, any questions so far, and any comments? Okay. So Max is saying, how about salsa? Now, since we're talking about dance, you can start now adding, all these extra keywords in there in this keyword planner. So let's see what salsa comes up with. Okay, so we can see here, salsa on its own is a very, very difficult keyword to rank for. It also has a very high search volume. Now, again, I would not just use one word as your main keyword. You want to use keywords that people are searching for. Now, think about it. How do you search for things on Google? Chances are you don't just go into Google and say salsa, okay? So you have to also think about how people are searching. How are they intending to search? So it may be how to learn salsa. Okay, that's something that's a keyword phrase that someone would use if they want to learn more about salsa. So let's type in here. Okay, and again, this one here is very, very low, and yet the keyword difficulty is high. So again, this is why I like this tool. So it's telling us here, 31, that's quite high, and the search is 140. So how to learn salsa, that's something I would, leave off because it's not really worth it, and chances of you ranking on that is very, very difficult. So this is how you make decisions on what topics to write on, because I would have thought how to learn salsa is, easy to rank. But as we can see here, and numbers don't lie, it's telling us clearly that in a month you get 140 and the keyword difficulty is 31, which means if you're starting off, chances of you ranking for that are close to 0. And all that effort that you're going to put into that, it's not going to rank anyways. So let's go back to salsa here and see any related topics that salsa can bring us. Now, some of these things here, I have no idea what they are. So let's just come over here to the top and let's arrange these again one more time. So I'm going to scroll down here until I start seeing the lowest numbers. So the lowest here is 20. So I don't know what that is. Okay, learn salsa. Okay, we can try this one here, learn salsa. Okay, this one here is quite easy. And this is a good one. So 1,300, that's a decent amount of traffic. So how to learn salsa is more difficult to rank for than learn salsa. Quite weird. But anyway, this is what Google is showing us. So what you may also want to do here is to search related keywords just to get like keyword ideas around salsa. So look at this one here. Salsa classes near me. Now, if you actually have a small business and a physical building where you want to teach people how to learn salsa, you can actually say learn salsa in Birmingham, for example, and this narrows it down to specifically your area, or learn salsa in, let's say, London, or we can even be more specific and give it an area name. So when people search online, your chances of you showing up there will be very high, because we know that salsa classes near me, or learn salsa and salsa dance lessons, these topics people are actually searching for them. So this is how you evaluate and see how you can search for keywords that you can write articles on. Now, there's also another one here called salsa dancing for beginners. Let's see. Okay. Now, this one here says it's possible. Again, it has 393 searches a month. And the keyword difficulty here is 31. And again, it's slightly high. I would recommend, 25 and below. That's, if your blog or your website is fairly new, because that's how you can easily start ranking for those. But just to remind you, SEO is, think of it as a marathon, okay? It's not one of those things where you do your article, quickly, and then it's going to start ranking straight away. Google wants to see your consistency of you putting out this content, because at the end of the day, Google wants to provide people with information. Okay, that's what Google is all about. The search is about providing people with information. So the quality of your blog posts is also very, very important. If you're going to do a 2-paragraph of a topic, like, for example, let's say ballroom dance steps, right? That I would presume that's a big topic, right? So you want to go into detail, because Google wants to provide people with the best results and the results that people want to see. Okay. And if your articles are in depth and you have all the right keywords in place and all of that, then your articles will start ranking. But this is going to be done over time, because if you really think about it, if everyone just went out there, created a blog today, wrote an article, and all of a sudden it's ranking, I think, there will be chaos. So Google wants you to prove to them first that you're providing valuable content over and over again on a consistent basis. Once you can prove that and that box is ticked, you'll start seeing your website or your articles starting to rank. So every time you search for a particular topic, your website will be ranking for that. Brenda, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying in your question here. Can you rephrase that, please? Um, okay. Right. Are we all on the same page? I can see here the chat is very quiet. Is there anything I need to explain more? Ratipula, good to see you. You're getting a denied access to KW Finder. Could that be maybe something with maybe how you've set up your computer? Probably, because in fact, why don't we ask? Is anyone having a problem going to KW Finder? In fact, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Crowdcast, there's also a link there which will take you to that. Okay, Brenda here says just fine. Rito, I can see you've gone to YouTube. Is there a problem with Crowdcast? Guys, are we having a problem with the live stream? Please let me know before I continue. Okay. Thanks, Monique, for letting me know. Okay. Joachim says, can these keywords simply not be added as keyword? No. If you just add it as a keyword, it needs to be part of the heading. In fact, I'll be going into more detail about how you can structure your post using Yoast SEO, because you can't just use it as a keyword and that's going to help it rank. No, it needs to be in the title. It needs to be in the description. It needs to be in the subheading. If you have any images, they also need to have that keyword phrase that we get from Keyword Finder. So you can't just use that as a single keyword. That's not how you do it. Joachim says, instead of doing a post. No, posts are what is found when people search on YouTube. If you really think about it, all these top popular blogs like Mashable, they're all blogs, right? They're all blogs. All the articles they write, TechCrunch, all the articles they write, they're all in blog format. So when people search for them, they can go to that blog, they can share it on social media and so on by adding social media buttons. So it has to be in a blog. Even sometimes if it's a single page, then that still doesn't work. Or even if it's on a landing page, it needs to be keyword phrases that you create on a consistent basis, and these keyword phrases need to be based on how popular they are, and if people are interested in those particular topics. Because one other way, in fact, I used to do this before. I used to just come up with topics to write, and that was a bad move, because sometimes you can spend so much time in creating a video or even an article, but it turns out that no one cares about it and no one searches for it. So basically, all this hard work that you're putting in, it's not paying off because no one is actually searching for that particular keyword. So it's very, very important that you do the keyword research before you do the articles, because it's hit and miss. You never know what's working and what's not working, and you don't want to be wasting time doing that. Okay, so why don't we find another keyword phrase that we can work on? So first come, first serve. Just type in there, and then whatever comes up, I will go with that. Okay, Russell says, and this is a very good question, what's the difference between a page and a post in terms of SEO? In terms of SEO, when you have a page, the way you optimize it is pretty much the same, because the tool Yoast SEO allows you to add your keyword phrase in the actual page. Now, if you really think about this, how many pages, or let's say you're going to be creating articles on baking, right? And you've come up with, let's say, 20 topic ideas. If you were to do that as pages, you are going to have so many pages on your website. In fact, you're going to lose control. And when you create pages on your website, ideally you want to have them as on your menu. So it's impossible, and all your pages are going to be really long, right? Like how to design a website using Divi. That's going to be your page title, your SEO title. So that's going to be your page title. So how many pages are you going to have with those long tail keywords? You can only have one or two, specific ones. But other than that, you have to be using blogs, and that's why blogging is very important. Even these news websites like CNN, it actually follows a blog structure. You can't create them as pages. These topics as pages, so they have to be as blogs. But if you have a page, a specific page that you want to rank for, then you can optimize that page for that particular keyword phrase. But it needs to be done via posts. Kirk says, page is the same as post for article ranking. Yes, pretty much is the same for article ranking. There isn't really a difference, because overall, your website has to have some sort of authority, some consistency. So whatever topic that you choose, either on a page or a post, it's going to be the same. Is it important to keep blog named blog or something else? It doesn't really matter, but most people are familiar with blog because they know that on a blog, that is where you get content that's coming on a consistent basis. So people know the word blog. If you change it to something else, yes, that could work as well. It doesn't really matter, but let's say you're in an industry where people understand that phrase for content that's coming on a consistent basis. That's fine. You can even say news updates, for example, and that will work fine as well. So that wouldn't change anything. Okay. Okay. So Russell here says, I have a page I have a page called web design and a sub page called what is a web designer. Should the sub page be a post? Yes. What is a web designer? That should be a post. Then what you want to do now is to really go into detail on what is a web designer. And that keyword, in fact, let's see if this keyword is easy to rank for. I will just I would just think that that keyword is quite difficult to rank for, but let's check. Okay, what is a web designer? Right, so let's head over here to our tool. Okay, so we need to search for what is a web designer. And here we go. You can see the keyword difficulty is 42. It's very, very difficult to rank for that. So chances of, in fact, I don't know how popular your blog is, but chances of you ranking for this keyword are very slim. Okay. So you want to make sure that you go in deeper and look for other keyword opportunities that you can find around this topic. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here and let's see. So over here we have this one here at 18. Let's have a look. Right, in fact it's 15. Can you see where it says dynamic web design? Although it has 200 people searching for this per month, you have chances of ranking for dynamic web design. Now, what you want to do is to find, let's say, 10, 15 topics like this. Now, if you really look at it, if you are having topics where you're talking about, let's say, low-cost web design, okay, how can you design websites, at a low cost, and you write an article about it, or you do, a video about it, or whatever it is on your page. The next one becomes dynamic web website design. You do that as well, and you do so many topics around this. Over time, you're going to become like an expert in that area because you're covering all those topics which are definitely related. And this is how now people start, or Google starts ranking all your articles. So as you can see in this quick example, what is a web designer? It's not an easy term to rank for. And without this tool, it's quite difficult to see if that tool can do any good for us or not. So I would rather have dynamic website design, get around, let's say, 100 people coming to my website, right? And what if, and this is the power of SEO, what if, so this says 200 people every month, right? And let's say you get 100 of those 200 every month. And on that page, on where you explain dynamic website design, you give them an offer, right? So you can say, I can build you a dynamic website for, let's say, $200, right? And out of those 100, 2 of them take you up on the offer. Now you're ranking this keyword, dynamic website design, and it also has the potential of making you money. So this is now the power of SEO. Okay, so you have to use this in a strategic way, and you have to make it work for you. Now, if you have 20 of these articles, and on each article, 1 or 2 people are converting onto your services, you are in the money. Okay, so keyword research is very, very important. In fact, my camera has just gone here. Let me just take a look at what is going on. Okay, I'm back. Right, I forgot to switch on the power. Okay, so far, does what I'm saying make sense? Right. I've got some questions here from Jody. Let's see. Right, and this is a very, very good. I can't see. Oh, okay. Okay, this is Brenda. So let me just read this because this might be also beneficial to everyone. So it says, so there must be a ratio between easy to rank yet still decent amount of searches. It seems like the lower the searches, the easier to rank. But then, what is the point of being super easy to rank if it's hardly everyone is searching? All right. Yes, there has to be a sweet spot, a sweet spot, because if you're going to be doing this, and in fact, let me come on screen here. Right. So there has to be a sweet spot. You don't want to go super, super low, like maybe 100 searches a month, unless, you know, that keyword is a keyword that is really, really important for you. So what I would really suggest here is to go for something like in the 500 to 1,000 a month. Now, this takes time to do the research, by the way. It's not something that you can, you can spend hours using this tool just to try and find out what is the best keyword. And it's a matter of research. It's similar to market research. In fact, it is market research. You want to see if there's a demand for the keyword that you're looking for, and at the same time, it is easy to rank for. Okay, so there has to be a sweet spot. So I would say the keyword difficulty has to be around 25 and below. And that particular keyword phrase has to have between 500, or in fact, I would say 400 to about 1,000 a month. Okay, so that's on the lower end. Once once you start ranking for these and you start getting traffic, right, your website will start gaining more and more authority. And later on, now let's say after 6 months, 8 months, you'll start to see your website starting to rank even better for the harder to search for keywords. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Don't go for keywords that have, let's say, 100 or 200. That's way too low. But you need to be going for something about 500 and above. I mean, 500 to about 1,000. I mean, if it's over 1,000, then you're lucky. In fact, I think we saw a few in the first example that I did where you had a few thousands, and yet the competition was around 10. So those are like your gold. Okay, it's quite rare to come across them, but if you do, those are the sort of keywords that can make you a lot. Can help you rank your website. Okay, hope that makes sense. Monique here says, have to sit down and think strategy. Absolutely, there has to be a strategy in all of this. So for all you guys out there that do freelance web design, same thing. You have to sit down, think of topics that you want to write about, and they need to be phrases. By the way, it can't be single words like learn web design. Chances of you ranking for that close to zero. Okay, they have to be long tail keywords. Look for problems that people find around getting their website designed. What problems do people get? Address those as articles, but you do need to do the keyword research first to find out how popular that keyword is and if you can rank for it. Russell, very, very good point. Instead of selling services via a post, you can get an email address subscription, and then you can send links via email to your new market. Absolutely, and this is what I do on my posts. when I do a video, I add it onto my website. And when people come to my website, they are able to sign up, subscribe. And this is where I can say, sign up for my Mac University membership. I could say, join my mailing list for updates. And as you're building your mailing list, these are people now that will definitely know who you are. So if you want to sell any services or you want to sell any discounts later on, it's quite easy for people now to sign up onto your services. So yes, very good point, Russell. I'm just going to check here and see if there's Harbor Beach says, would it be possible to provide a greater reasonable pre-notice of live events through email? Okay, so I normally do a 2 hours before, sometimes an hour before notice. So if you prefer that I do a notice, maybe a day before, that's fine. I can do that. I have no problem with that. So Harbor Beach, I'll definitely, do that. Chanel says, I'm thinking to purchase Elementor Pro. Will you make Elementor course? And main reason is Divi does not have third-party app integration and no header builder. Right. First of all, no app plugin. I'm not sure what you mean by app plugin. What do you mean by that? App plugin? Chanel. And your second, the first question is, will I be creating Elementor Pro courses? The answer to that, not at the moment, because most people here on Mac University, they use Divi. So unless, that changes and majority of people are now using Elementor, then I can move on to that. But at the moment, no, because that's just too much resources and too much effort into very few people that use Elementor on Mac University. And in fact, I'm sure I am right in saying most people use Divi, for on Mac University, because this is what I've been promoting on all my tutorials that I've been creating. So Elementor, no, not anytime soon. I'm sorry. Joachim says, do you know SEM Rush? Yes, absolutely. I've actually used SEM Rush. In fact, Joachim says SEM Rush. Yes, I know about SEM Rush. I've actually used SEM Rush, but you know what? It's very, very expensive. I would use that if maybe you're running an agency. But in terms of what we're trying to do here, getting keywords and finding keywords to rank for, it pretty much it's overkill for what we're trying to do, and it also produces the same results. Because they're all getting all this data from Google, and it's just the way the interfaces are slightly different. And to be honest, I think it's more. It has more stuff on it, and it may be a bit overwhelming for the beginners out there. But in terms of price and what it can produce, I would say Keyword Finder is much, much better. Okay. I'm just laughing at a comment I just saw here on Crowdcast. It would be nice if Divi and Elementor got married. Right. So this header and third-party integration. I'm not sure which integrations you're referring to. If it's email subscriptions, you can use the plugin. I think it's called Monarch. Is it Monarch? I always confuse the two, Monarch and what's the other one? I'm getting a bit tired. I need more coffee now. But anyway, specify more what third-party integration you mean. I may be able to help you with that, Shano. Right. Now, in terms of page builders, in fact, let me just address this quickly. In terms of page builders, I've used both, okay? Because I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend like I haven't tried all these page builders. I have used pretty much all these page builders out there. I've used Breezy, I've used Elementor, I've used Divi. But the reason why I stick to Divi is because of the UI itself. The UI for me is much, much cleaner. It's easier to use. And I find, all these shortcuts that I need. And I mean, if we try to compare the shortcuts we have in Elementor versus Divi, Divi has way more shortcuts like multi-select, copy and paste, extend styles, stuff like that. To me, I like those things because it makes me work really fast. Okay. And also, in terms of features, yes, I totally agree. Elementor has the header and footer design, the page template design, and so on and so forth. But these are features which, yes, they are very good. But in Divi, when they come, basically these page builders will be at par. And I know it can be very frustrating for some of you, unless it's a really, really make or break feature that you really have to go to Elementor. I mean, even I'm waiting for Divi, to release the header and footer and the page template. But with Divi now, the community itself and the future of where Divi is going, that's why I'm really hanging on to that. And like I said, personally, it's the UI. The UI itself, I really like it. There's a lot of shortcuts, and obviously, as me being part of the team, the team works really hard. The support is great, and they are also going to be producing quite a lot of things coming up. But of course, it's a matter of choice, what you prefer. Some people like the way the UI is in Elementor. Some people, like the UI in Divi. So it's a bit like the argument between BMW and Mercedes. Which one is better? It's a matter of preference. But yeah, that's that's what I have to say on that one. John Jackson says that's why I joined Mac University to learn more Divi info. Yes, absolutely. And there's a lot to cover. And once all these features are coming out, in fact, we think we have things like dynamic content that we need to be going into. So these are all topics which can make your website look really, really awesome. And Russell also says, I create Divi headers by setting the page to blank and then replace the header and the footer with Divi sections. That's another solution. Fantastic. Another way you could do this as well, if you really love Divi, is to use a theme called Astra. Okay. Now with the Astra theme, you can customize the header and the footer, and then use the Divi Builder plugin. That's another option that you can use. But I would use that on specific situations, like for example, on LearnDash. Astra has a bit more features to work well with LearnDash, but that's a topic for another day. Right. Max, thank you for joining. I'll see you again next weekend. Brenda here says, is Yoast your preferred plugin? I've been using Yoast and what's the other one? SEO Press. Okay, I've been using these two, testing them out, and they seem to be both very, very powerful. But in terms of price, SEO Press is much better. So just hang in there. I am going to come up with a verdict on which one is better. So hopefully, I should be able to do this in the next Saturday when we have the next live show. Johnny, Divi versus ClickFunnels. I know I keep saying this. I haven't been well for a bit, and also the Mac University membership. Uh-oh, what happened here? Something happened. This is strange. My camera has gone again. Okay, can you still hear me? If everyone can still hear me, please let me know in the comments box before I continue. It looks like my camera here is playing up. Okay, fantastic. You can still hear me. Okay, let's continue. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see something happened to my camera here. Okay, so so I hope, in fact, going back now to our topic, if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments box and I'll address those questions. But talking about keyword research, for SEO, it is very, very important to go for the long tail keywords. Search for those keywords which people are likely to use when they're searching for things online on YouTube or Facebook if you are into video. Okay, so these keywords need to be added onto your blog posts, and this helps your posts being found in Google. Okay, and as we mentioned, the more your blog posts are found on Google or on Google, this allows you to build your mailing list, to sell products, to recommend products as affiliates. This is also known as affiliate marketing. So it is really, really powerful. And the tool here is KW Finder. This helps you do your keyword research and also helps you find, which keywords to go for. Now, for example, here we have this one here. What is web designing all about? This now has 79 people searching for this. This is useless. I mean, there's no need to do an article on that. So that's an article that I'll just leave off. But at the same time, web design developer, you can see here it has 480. But if I click here, this is going to be quite high, I think. Okay, it's about 37. But over here, you can also see the companies that are ranking very high for these. These are quite, big companies. So you want to make sure that you go below around 20 in terms of your keyword SEO difficulty. But it's all about consistency. Okay, it's all about consistency. Make sure that when you start creating your blog, you write quite a lot of articles. If it's videos, you want to do quite a lot of videos. As you've seen on my YouTube channel, a lot of my traffic comes from search. So all my keywords, they're based on the search. In fact, let me just do this quickly. I'm going to come over here and add in. Russell, I'm not sure what's happening with my camera. In fact, let me take a quick look here. I've never had a problem with this camera. So all of a sudden now, I don't know why it's switching off and on. It's quite frustrating. Okay. So any questions regarding how to do SEO research for keyword research for SEO? Any questions? Now, in the future, I'll also be covering how to do this on YouTube as well, because YouTube has a slightly different tool, but the idea is still the same. Harbor Beach says, could you include live event crowdcast access info on? Yes, definitely. I'll be adding this onto the membership. So this workshop, for example, that we've done today will be accessible now on Mac University membership. Okay. Now, for those of you still wanting to access the membership, I know a few of you have access to the university. I would say please be patient. I just need a few more days, and then I'm going to send an email out to everyone so that you can, come back on the site. And I will leave this topic for now, but I've learned a lot in how to create a membership website which has recurring payments. And I would like to share this with you. So I will be putting all this information together and share with you so that for those of you that want to create a membership website, you will know what to expect, what to avoid, and so on. Because this has given me a headache. And as I mentioned, for some of you, it's been very, very frustrating. But to be honest, it's also been really, really frustrating for me because my output, the amount of videos that I was supposed to be producing has been cut down because obviously I'm trying to respond to all these problems for double payments. People are being charged twice. Some people aren't able to access their memberships. So this has been very, very frustrating. So I'm trying to fix this once and for all. And also, Brenda, just a quick question. Are you able to access all the courses on the website? Have you tried to access all the courses on the website, Brenda? Okay, Alhaji, you say you can't access. Okay. Monique, are you able to access the courses? I made a quick update. Right. Okay. So Monique can access all the courses. That's fantastic because the system I'm using now is uses tags for the membership, for the subscription. So hopefully this should be great. Okay, so what I will do at some point tomorrow or Monday, I am going to send an email out so that you can sign up for the membership, and then we can go back to creating all this awesome content on a weekly basis, and also these mini courses that we are creating. So I'd like to say to everyone that joined me today, thank you very much for joining my live stream today. I will be notifying you. Please take a look at please check your emails for future live streams because I will be sending notifications via email. So keep an eye on that, and also be sure that you also sign up on Crowdcast because that's what we're going to be using moving forward. All right. So to everyone who joined me today, I'd like to say thank you very much. I will see you again next week, next Saturday. And in the meantime, I'm going to be working on this membership website and bringing it up and running again. Thank you very much and have a great weekend. Cheers.